The 2026 offseason has some pretty big-name free agents. Kyle Tucker's hitting the free agent market. Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso, two of the best power hitters in the game. Framber, Valdez, Dylan Cease, Ranger Suarez, all these guys will be available this offseason. So you know the predictions are going to be hot. These are not my predictions. Instead, I'm going to be reacting to Jim Bowden's predictions. Former MLB GM, front office guy. He wrote this article on The Athletic, so again, if you want to check it out for yourself, link in the description, definitely give it a click. So I want to take a look and see where Jim Bowden thinks these guys might land, as well as their contract projections. It's kind of crazy to think about the offseason right now, but once the World Series is over, we're going to get moving. Let's get a better idea of what could happen. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Click that subscribe button, please, right now. Click it. The MLB season's almost over, and with the World Series tickets being pretty expensive, I'm here to save you guys some money. That's where SeatGeek comes in. Use my code GiraffeNeckMarc at checkout to save 10% off your next purchase on SeatGeek, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. Basketball season is just starting up. College sports are going. We've got football. There are so many different events that you can buy tickets to on SeatGeek. I don't know, maybe you want to go see a comedy show. Maybe you're into music. SeatGeek's got you covered. And of course, my favorite feature on SeatGeek is their SeatGeek score. They rate every ticket on a scale of 1 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or not. If you see tickets with a score closer to 10 or a green dot, that means you should buy that ticket. It's a great deal. If you see tickets with a score closer to a 1 or a red or orange circle, that means I wouldn't buy those. Maybe avoid them. So again, just in case you missed it at the beginning, I got the hookup for you. Use my code GiraffeNeckMarc for 10% off your next purchase on SeatGeek, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. That's code GiraffeNeckMarc at checkout for a 10% discount. So download the SeatGeek app. Link is in the description. Type in my code GiraffeNeckMarc. Save yourself that money and have some fun. Go to an event. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. So of course, we're going to start at the top. Take a look at Kyle Tucker, the biggest free agent available this offseason on the market. Was at the Cubs. Doesn't seem like the Cubs are going to bring him back. And right now, he's comping his salary to Juan Soto, Shohei, Vladdy. See, this is where I feel weird about Kyle Tucker. Going into the season, I thought Kyle Tucker was going to be a $500 million man. And I still think it's going to be pretty close to the $400 million range, but this season was a little bit of a disappointment, but he also had injuries. He's still very good. Like, I think Kyle Tucker is still one of the top 25 players in the game. I'm interested to see what his market looks like, though. He's 28 years old. He plays the outfield. He plays it well. He's a 30-30-30 guy. He's going to drive in 100 runs. He's a very, very good player. So you're probably looking at, what, a 12-year contract worth around $400-ish million? Not that many teams are going to be interested, even though everybody should be. And right now, Jim Bowden thinks that the Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, and Giants. Whoa, you think the Mets actually have a chance? Like, I totally see the Yankees. That makes sense. Put him in Yankee Stadium. My God, he would absolutely dominate. The Dodgers, of course, are going to be interested in everybody because all they ever want to do is win baseball games, and Kyle Tucker would help them. Phillies makes a ton of sense, too, with Kyle Schwarber leaving. They're probably trading Nick Castellanos, those weird Bryce Harper rumors that are going on right now. And then the Giants. All of these make sense. It's crazy to me that the Cubs are not interested in this or not a team that has the best fit, which is insane. And he's thinking 10 for $427. Yeah, I mean, I could totally buy that. $42 million a year for 10 seasons. I mean, like, I wouldn't sign a 12-year contract. He's going to probably want a 12-year contract. And then you're probably looking at, what, $450, $460 million? He's going to be the highest paid free agent this offseason. I think there's no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to see where his market lands, though. Also, never count out the Blue Jays. They're trying to spend money. A lot of teams should be all over him, though. Could this be a guy that the Tigers decide to spend money on? Of course not, because they're trying to trade Tarek Skubal because he's too much money. Fun team? What if the Astros just bring Kyle Tucker back? That'd be kind of crazy. All right, moving on. Next, we've got Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber, 32 years old. He is a DH, and he's comping him to the salaries of Devers, Giancarlo Stanton, Bregman, Pete Alonso. Thinks the Phillies, Mets, and Tigers are the best fit. 5 years, $160 million. That's over $30 million a year for a DH. Kyle Schwarber's really good. He's one of the best power hitters in the game. I am interested to see what his contract looks like because we don't really see DHs besides Shohei Ohtani signed to these long-term contracts. I know Stanton is a DH now, but he wasn't when he signed that. Rafael Devers wasn't a DH, wasn't considered to be an upcoming DH when he signed that contract. 5 for $160. Yeah, I mean, he hits 50 home runs a year. I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. This is an interesting one. Mets, Phillies, and Tigers totally make sense. I think a lot of teams are going to be interested in him. If only the Yankees didn't have Giancarlo Stanton, he would be a no-brainer for them. I think the Cubs should also consider him. Trying to think of some other American League teams. I mean, he would be sick on the Orioles. Red Sox probably not going to consider him. Not a lot of teams out west, but Kyle Schwarber, one of the best free agents. I don't hate this at all. $30 million a year, though, does feel like it might be high, but maybe that's the going rate, even for a DH now. Next up, Pete Alonso. He has the player option. He's going to opt out. 31 years old. That's also just crazy to think about that Pete Alonso's only a year younger than Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber was in 2015 playing for the Cubs. Pete Alonso came up in 2019. I would obviously love Pete to stay with the Mets, but the biggest problem here is Boras Corp. Scott Boras is an amazing agent, the GOAT. He's the best of all time, but he does not sign cheap deals, and he's got Pete Alonso drinking that Kool-Aid thinking he's going to be the highest paid first baseman in a long time, even though Vlad Vlad Jr., he shouldn't even come close, but he wants Freddie Freeman money. I don't know if he deserves it. Let's see what Jim Bowden thinks. He thinks Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, Paul Goldschmidt, which is fair. I think he's in these range. He's like a $25 million a year player. Best team fits, Mets, Phillies, Red Sox, Mariners, Rangers. Totally agree with all those. I think he's spot on. 6 years, $182 million. So that's going to come out to a little over $30 million a year. I mean, if that's the case, he's not going to be on the Mets. I don't see the Mets paying him $30 million a year going into his 37-year-old season. Personally, for me, it's not my money. I want the Mets to bring him back. I think that's time to a 5-year, 150, call it a day. We'll worry about 36-year-old Pete Alonso when he's 36 years old. He's probably still going to hit home runs. He's a 40 home run a year guy. He hit the ball so well in 2025, but all these other teams will be interested. Again, he fits perfectly with the Mariners. He's an amazing fit for the Red Sox in Fenway. Rangers would be really good too because they're still missing that first baseman. And I'll say this again, I still always think that he'd be so good in Pittsburgh. If there were ever going to be somebody that they would pay, I think Pete Alonso would be a great option, but they're obviously not going to do that. Also, the Reds would be great too, but they're not going to pay him either. Number 4, Framber Valdez. He is one of the most interesting guys to think of because the end of the season stuff where he basically purposely tried to throw a pitch to hit his catcher and didn't listen to the call was so weird. But there is no doubt that he has been one of the best pitchers in baseball over the last few years. Criminally underrated, consistently puts up a low ERA, ground ball machine. The stuff is electric. We love Framber Valdez as a player. Mentally, little weird. That might scare some teams off. They're comparing him to Crochet, Glasnow, Rodon, Snell. I do think he's more 6 years, 190. That's what they're saying. So that comes out to what, like $32 million a year, $31 million a year, something like that. I'll be honest, I don't want to be the team that's paying Framber Valdez $31 million a year when he's like 37. I think Framber's really good. On a 3-4 year deal, pay him. Stack it up. I think he's got 3-4 years left for sure. The end of that contract's going to be tough. Just seeing how much Garrett Crochet got, I can't give Framber Valdez more money than Garrett Crochet because Crochet's so much better, and I do think he's more in that Carlos Rodon range, 6 for 162, and then we're talking pennies at the dollar here when it's broken up for these millionaires. Best team fits, Astros, Orioles, Mets, Braves, Cubs, Padres, Giants. Everybody in baseball could use more pitching. I'm really interested to see what the pitcher market looks like this offseason because we have some big trade names available. Derek Skubal, Freddie Peralta, maybe even guys like Sandy Alcantara are available. We also have some big free agent names, Framber Valdez being the best one for sure. All right, next up, number 5, Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette had a phenomenal year. Can he play shortstop? No, not going to be his home. That's not a good position for him, but he absolutely mashed this year. The hitting came back. He's a high contact guy. He could probably play second base at a completely acceptable level. I don't know if he's a shortstop anymore. Comping him to Willie Adames, Dansby, Marcus Semien, Matt Chapman. Best team fits, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Tigers, Yankees, Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, Mariners, Mets. I don't see the Mets just because I don't think that they're going to pay him to play second base, although maybe they would on a shorter term deal. But yeah, if you're projecting 7 years, $189 million, I don't see Bo Bichette coming to the New York Mets. Blue Jays, totally in the realm of possibility. Red Sox could use another middle infielder, or maybe you move him to third if you put Marcelo Meyer in the middle infield, which I don't know if they're going to do that. Tigers, totally. Yankees, he'd be a great Yankee. I think he'd be an awesome fit there. Philadelphia Phillies could always upgrade at second base or third base. Dodgers, because of course they are. The Cubs, the Mariners. Do you guys see the issue, though, with what's going on here? Every single team that's linked to these top free agents are good baseball teams. There doesn't feel like any of the teams at the bottom are going to try and go after these guys, which is kind of annoying and kind of ruins the offseason. I want some surprise teams in there. 7 years, $189 million comes out to what? I'm going to need a calculator for this one. $27 million a year for Bo? That's fine. 25 would have been where I'd pay him, but that's a totally acceptable contract prediction. Interested to see where he goes. Next up, Alex Bregman. Feels crazy to me that he's going to opt out. I don't know if he's going to get more than $40 million a year. I know it's a short-term contract, and that's the scary part. I guess he's going to be similar to the Matt Chapman, Willie Adames contracts. That's at least what it feels like to me. Best team fits, Red Sox, Tigers, Yankees, Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, Mariners, Mets. Once again, it's all the same teams. Come on, come in with something interesting, Jim. That being said, we know he was linked to the Nationals a little bit last year. Maybe the Nationals try and get a little splash here. I also think the Rangers could be interested. I know they have Josh Young, but he's looked horrible the last couple seasons dealing with injuries. Alex Bregman would be a really good player there. Cubs, I know they like Matt Shaw, but Alex Bregman's better. I just don't think his bat fits in that ballpark because pulling the ball down the line, kind of the thing that Alex Bregman does, Wrigley's deep down the line and left. It's like the Isaac Paredes. 6 years, $182 million. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. That's like, again, $30 million a year. I think Bregman would be happy. Another shockingly interesting free agent. This free agent market is more interesting on the contract valuation more than ever before. The problem with this one, we've seen it with off seasons in the past. When there's like only one clear top free agent, which is Kyle Tucker, who's going to get paid a lot of money, sometimes these lower guys get contracts that are kind of out of nowhere. Maybe a little bit of an overpay. I'm interested to see who's going to be the big overpay this offseason. All right, Ranger Suarez, number 7. He is someone who I'd be down to pay if I had a team, but I don't want him being the best pitcher pitcher on my roster. So does he want to get paid like an ace? That is the big question, and there's no doubt that, again, he has been one of the most consistent left-handed starters in baseball. Best team fits: Phillies, Mets, Braves, Orioles, Cubs, Giants, Astros, Tigers. Can we get some new teams in here, please? Please, Jim Bowden, I'm begging you. I understand that you're trying to do predictions, but not even like a bold team in there. I think the worst team is the Orioles, but we all know they're trying to win, or want to win at least next season, and they need pitching. Every other team, though, was pretty good. Like the Braves, they stunk, but I don't think they actually stink. 6 years, $164 million, so it's under $30 million a year. Truthfully, like I think Framber Valdez is a better pitcher, but this is probably better value. Does that make sense? Is that crazy to say? Rangers a very good pitcher, though. Dylan Cease, I don't know how people are going to react to him because he had such an atrocious year. The stuff's really good, but he is inconsistent. Same thing, comping him to all the big kind of like number 2 pitchers that have recently signed, except for Crochet, who's clearly a 1, and Snell would be a 1 elsewhere. So Glasnow, Rodon. Best team fits. Can you guys name? Ooh, he threw in the Angels. Love seeing the Angels on there. The Angels always love to spend money like crazy. Padres, Braves, Mets, Orioles, Cubs, Giants, Angels, Red Sox, Tigers. 6 years, $187. I can't give Dylan Cease $31 million a year for 6 years coming off of the season that he just had. He was horrible. This season, he led starters in strikeouts per inning at 11.5. See, this is why we can't use K per 9. Again, I'm begging everyone at home, please stop using K per 9. There is just way better stats, and I'm going to prove to you real quick. This is a little tangent where I'm going to rant. So we look at K per 9, right? And Dylan Cease is at the top here. 11.52 ahead of Garrett Crochet, Tarek Skubal, Jesus Luzardo, Yamamoto. These are the best pitchers in baseball. This is why it can be a little misleading, because then when you actually look at what their K rate is, which again is more important, I don't know why we're stabilizing strikeouts over 9 innings. Nobody throws 9 innings anymore. Instead, we can take how many of the batters you face you actually strike out. And while Dylan Cease is still at the top, 29.8, still fantastic, you see the K to walk ratio. So he's third in K rate right now at 29.8, but you sort by K to walk ratio, and Dylan Cease does fall outside the top 10. Still very good, still a great pitcher, but the fact that he does walk so many guys, it does take back a notch what his strikeout rate is. And that's why I don't love using the per 9s. It just blanket gets rid of hits, walks, home runs, anything. You could give up 100 hits in 1 inning, strike out 3 guys, and you'll have a 27 K per 9. You see the fault with this stat? Okay, that's my rant. Back to it now. Dylan Cease is still a good pitcher, still good stuff. I wouldn't pay him this money. That's more than Garrett Crochet got. That's same money that Blake Snell's going to get, and he's never been as good as Blake Snell. Blake Snell's won 2 Cy Young Awards, by the way. I think that Cease is going to sign a short-term deal with an opt-out, get paid a lot next season, like $35 million, bet on himself, and then sign a bigger deal next season. Next up, we got Tatsuya Imai, who is one of the top pitchers coming out of Japan. We know how good Yoshinobu Yamamoto's been. We saw Kodai Senga at times be really good. Shota Imanaga be really good. We've seen how good Japanese pitchers can be at the major league level. He's young, 27, another smaller guy, throws mid-90s, which is a plus, has a really good slider. Of course, he's Japanese. He has a splitter as well. He was fantastic. I'm still going to do a lot more research on him. Again, shout out my friend Wheels. He's like my Japanese baseball correspondent because he lives out there. He's been hyping this guy up, so I want to do a little more research on my own because I'm not going to be on top of the MPB during the regular season. 7 years, $154 million feels really affordable if he's good. Mets, Giants, Red Sox, Cubs, Orioles, Astros, Padres. Yep, I think the Mets definitely are going to be looking for more pitching. I know we have a lot of these mid-rotation guys, which is what they're suggesting he could be, but I think Kodai Senga might be on his way out, and maybe Tatsuya Imai could be one of his replacements, along with the fact that you can never have too much pitching, and if he's good, get him in that rotation. All right, number 10. Cody Bellinger, is he going to be number 10? Yep, Cody Bellinger, number 10, to be fair. I think he should be higher. Cody Bellinger, low-key, really good. Someone who, again, this is the last thing I'm going to mention about gassing up my Mets. I think the Mets should be all over him to play center field. I think it'd be a great option. He could also play first base if we don't bring back Pete Alonso. Great glove, can play all the outfield positions, can play first base too. Comping him to Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, Nimmo, I think is a perfect comp in terms of salary. Yankees, Mets, Astros, Padres, Guardians, Royals. Whoa, okay, we got some new teams in there. I think there's no shot the Guardians spend money on him. I don't know where that's coming from. They don't spend money, but that would be cool. The Royals, it would also be cool because that team so desperately needs more Major League Baseball hitters, and they're close. Bobby Witt Jr. is way too good to waste his prime. Michael Garcia is great. Vinny Pasquantino was great. I would love to see them get Cody Bellinger. Angels and Mariners, 6 years, $168 million. I think that's a phenomenal salary comp. That would be a great deal for both sides. Zach Gallen, horrible year. Horrible year. He's going to be signing a short-term deal, definitely looking to capitalize on a positive season next year. Orioles, Red Sox, Tigers, all those teams that you'd expect. Cardinals, who originally had him, or what was it? He went from the Cardinals to the Marlins. Yeah, Cardinals to the Marlins, then to the Diamondbacks, because he was in the Sandy trade, and then he was in the Jazz Chisholm trade, which kind of crazy path for Zach Gallen. New Jersey guy, by the way. Not ranked very highly coming out of high school, which is kind of nuts. 5 years, $135 million. Would I pay him that much? Ugh, I don't think so. $27 million a year for Zach Gallen. He looked really, really bad last year. I like Zach Gallen as a pitcher, but ooh, that was ass. I think that similarly to Cease, it's going to be a sign it, prove it deal unless somebody comes in crazy and is like, we need Zach Gallen, which I don't know if that's the case anymore. We'll see. Munetaka Murakami. Whoa, he has Murakami down here. Murakami is an interesting player because the power is insane. He swings and misses a ton. He's a horrendous athlete. He can't play like third base. We have to stop talking about him playing third base. He can't play third base. The guy's got cement feet. There's no way he's going to play third at the major league level. He's first baseman DH, but he smashes baseballs when he hits them. I think the Yankees are going to be interested in him. I think pretty much every team is going to be. Wonder what the salary comp they have for him is. Padres, Mets, Mariners, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Red Sox, 6 years, $160 million. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant on that is you got Pete Alonso, who you know can do this at the major league level. He's not the same age. This guy's 5-6 years younger than Alonso. Do you risk it for a guy who had so much swing and miss in the MPB? How's it going to adjust to the major league pitching? When he makes contact, it's going to be loud. It's going to be awesome. That's my biggest concern with Murakami, but I guess because he's younger, you feel a little bit safer than signing Pete Alonso at 31, because theoretically, when this contract ends, he would be Pete Alonso's age right now. Padres, Mets, Mariners, Diamondbacks. Whoa, no Yankees on here. I'm shocked. I thought the Yankees were going to be all over him, but I guess because they have Ben Rice now and Giancarlo Stanton, it could get a little bit murky because, again, he can't play third base. I don't care what people tell you. He's not playing third base. Michael King, mutual option, San Diego Padres. Not a great year for Michael King. The velo was down, dealt with a lot of injuries. Shocker. There's no fun teams in here. 3 years, $75 million, though. If he hits the free agent market, totally. I think every team would be willing to sign Michael King to that kind of contract. At age 30, it's like his pitching prime. We're going to go through the top 15, and then we'll speed through them. Edwin Diaz needs to be higher. Why is he at number 14? Edwin Diaz is arguably the best closer in baseball, best reliever. He's disgusting. He's so good. He does have the opt-out. He's probably going to want a lot of money. He's going to want that Josh Hader type contract. Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, best fit. Totally believe it. 4 years, $88 million. I think he'd probably even do 5 for 100. Call it a day. Never have to worry about another contract in his life. Edwin Diaz, again, .874 whip. He strikes out like 40% of the batters he faces. Fastball, slider. He's awesome. Love Edwin. Hope the Mets bring him back. But I think a lot of teams are going to be all over him because there's not many guys who just come in the game and it's over. It's over when Edwin Diaz comes in. He's money. Then 15, Robert Suarez. If he opts out, is he? Is he going to opt out? He's 34. I don't even know if he would get a 4-year, $80 million. Like if you're saying a difference between $8 million between Diaz and Suarez, you are going to sign Diaz in a heartbeat. That doesn't make any sense. I know Suarez has all the saves and a 3 ERA, but he doesn't have the swing and miss stuff. I guess because he doesn't walk guys, that's the big thing here, but I want swing and miss guys out of my closer. The 32 strikeouts is great, but again, I don't think his K rate's that high. Yeah, right now, Suarez, I mean, he's not even a top 30 guy. Where does he land on this? Okay, so he's 37th at 27.9. The no walks helps a lot, so when you look at the K to walk ratio on Suarez, where do we fall? Is he even still? He's 26th. That's like Emilio Pagan level. That's good. I think comping his contract close to Edwin Diaz is insane. Edwin Diaz is way better. It's not that Suarez is bad. Edwin Diaz is way better. Shane Bieber. I don't know what his free agency is going to look like because the injury plus he's pitched okay. I guess another maybe short-term deal. 3 years, $75 million with the player opt-out after each year. That makes sense to me. And what do you know? All the same teams. Josh Naylor. I want to see where Josh Naylor is. Mets, Mariners, Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Guardians. 4 years, $90 million. A little over $20 million a year for Josh Naylor. I don't know if I love that deal. I would rather just pay Pete Alonso more money. I guess this is like a cheaper option. It is funny to say the salary comps are Josh Bell at $32 million and Carlos Santana 3 years $60 when this money is way more. It is closer to the Paul Goldschmidt than those guys, but hey, I guess that's what they do. Mariners should keep him though. Okamoto is a guy who I've been hearing a lot of good things. He might not put up the overall power numbers that Murakami does, but might be a better hitter overall, might be a better player. Keep an eye out on Kazuma Okamoto. Mets, Mariners, yeah, all the same teams again, 4 years, $90 million. Like, see, to me, that feels like a pretty decent gamble on someone who the underlying stuff looks pretty safe. I like that idea. Has terrific hand-eye coordination, solid contact to go along with the power. Murakami has more raw power. Okamoto's 4 years older, but has proven to be more consistent. I kind of like the Okamoto comp a lot. Eugenio Suarez, Philly's got to be all over him, right? That's got to be a Philly, a Mariner. Yep, all the teams that need third baseman. Red Sox, I guess maybe the Red Sox. Angels being thrown on there is hilarious. 3 years, $72 million. That's like what, $24 million a year? We'll see how that goes. Merrill Kelly is number 20. 2 years, $30 million. Diamondbacks, Orioles, Mets. That would be a deal. That would be an absolute steal. Teams will be all over Merrill Kelly at 2 for 30. Like 160 innings at like a 3.5 to 4 ERA. Absolute bargain. Glaber's a little bit lower than I would have expected. I thought Glaber would have been a top 20 guy. Tigers, Giants, Rockies, White Sox, Angels, man, they really don't think his market's going to be that good. 4 years, $52 million. That feels like kind of cheap for Gleyber Torres, does it not? We don't even think he's going to get $15 million a year. Shit, I'd want the Mets to sign him to play second base if that was the case. I think a lot of teams would take $452 for Gleyber Torres. The second base position, which is so weak, it feels like a really good contract. Does it not? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comment section if I'm crazy. Jorge Polanco, same thing, 2-year, 26. The second baseman market feels unbelievably cheap. Why is it so cheap? I guess because his knees aren't great and he's had some health issues in the past. Feels like a good deal for me for Jorge Polanco. JT Realmuto, bold prediction, going back to the Marlins. Let's see what he says. Best fit, Phillies Padres, 2 years, $34 million. Yeah, I feel like the Phillies kind of have to sign this because I don't know what they're going to do at the catcher position otherwise. And he's still fine. He's not the JT Realmuto he once was, but 2 for 34, get him to age 36, 37. I think he'd be okay. Trent Grisham's way lower than I thought he would be. I thought he'd be a top 20 guy. Where do they have Trent Grisham going? 2 years, $30 million. I think Grisham might get more than that. I could see Grisham being like 3 years closer to 60. He had an amazing season with the Yankees. I know he hit in front of Aaron Judge. That's going to help, but he feels better than O'Neill and Conforto and Lourdes Gurriel, especially because he plays center field. None of those guys play center field. They're all bad fielders, if anything. O'Neill's been decent in the past fielding, but in the corner, Conforto and Gurriel, no. These are some losing teams that they're mentioning. I don't see the Pirates spending 2 for 30 on Trent Grisham. That would be a sick signing for them, but I just don't see it. Oh, man. I feel bad for Grisham. He's a good ball player. I think he's got to go to a winning team. Like, why would the Dodgers not consider put him in the outfield? Chris Bassett, age 36, 2 for 45. Why is he so much more expensive than Merrill Kelly, but you have him ranked lower? Sometimes I'm not sure. This is where he loses me, as these bottom tier guys or of the free agent market. 2 years, $45 million. I threw the Brewers in there and the A's, I guess because of his former connection. Tyler Rogers at number 26, 1 year, $15 million. I think that's kind of fair. I think it's going to be even less. I think it's going to be like in that $10 million range probably. Ryan O'Hearn had a really good season with the Orioles, not so great with the Padres. It's more of a DH platoon guy, 2 years, $24 million. Teams will be all over that. I could see the Pirates. That'd be a fun player for them to get if they ever want to try and be better. Raisel Iglesias, low-key was good, I think, this year. Was he not? Or am I getting mixed up? Yeah, no, he was good. 27% K rate, 6% walk rate. This is somebody that you would definitely like to have in the back end of your bullpen. Maybe not your closer anymore. 2 years, $24 million. I know basically every team in baseball would take that contract. Luis Suarez, without a doubt, the most interesting free agent this year. I don't think he's going to get paid much. I don't think anybody does, but of course, baseball media likes to tell you that he's undervalued. Let's see what they think for Luis Suarez. So right now, 2 years, $30 million. Padres, A's, Pirates, Rockies, White Sox, Angels. See, that hurts me. I actually think we might be on the opposite side now with Luis Suarez. Like, I only talk shit on him because of the idiots who think he's like one of the premier hitters in baseball. Because for some reason, people still see batting average like best hitter in the league. That's obviously not the case. Why would you not take like Aaron Judge, who hits 330 and also hits 50 home runs? That's the best hitter in the league. Shohei Ohtani. Those guys are the best hitters. Luis Suarez has value. Hit him 7th, hit him 8th in your order. He gets on base 34, 35% of the time at the bottom of the order. You can stick him at first base or DH to just kind of be a slappy guy to keep the lineup moving. I love him in that role. I didn't love the Padres hitting him 2nd. I thought that was brain dead, but I do think more winning teams are going to be in on this guy than the best team fits are letting on. Because again, 2 years, $30 million. That's cheap. And at the absolute worst, he could play second base. It's not good, but he could play it. I think we're now undervaluing him a little bit. More so from the best team fits, not the contract prediction. Tyler Mahle, yeah, see, now we're really starting to get into 1 year, 17, sure, the guys who aren't really as interesting. Ha-Sung Kim, going to be more of a defensive first guy. 3 years, $39 million. Sure, why not? Zach Littell pitched pretty good with the Reds down the stretch. Rockies, A's, Orioles, Rays. 1 year, $10 million. Okay, if Zach Littell is signing for 1 year, $10 million, again, that's like less than Clay Holmes signed for. There's no way his contract's going to be that cheap. He gives innings. You pay for innings. Keeping it moving. This is Emilio Pagan, who was really good this year. They're saying 2 for 22. Again, teams would sign that in a heartbeat. Brad Keller looked so good for the Cubs in the postseason, throwing in the upper 90s, 2 for 15. Love that. Devin Williams, wow. Got him behind Brad Keller. I think that's kind of crazy. I just think the Yankees weren't a great fit. 1 year, $10 million. I promise you, if Devin Williams is available for 1 year and $10 million, every single team in baseball will be interested in signing him. He will be a Los Angeles Dodger if that's his price. I know he stunk this year, but he's still so good. I don't care. The stuff looks ridiculous. Luke Weaver, on the other hand, I don't know how good he will be next year. Is he going to get paid more? Is that 2 for 20? That's just an extra year. Interesting to me. I'm not as high on Luke Weaver. Ryan Helsley stunk it up with the Mets I hope he doesn't think that the Mets are a best fit. Yep, 1 year, $10 million. Go be a closer somewhere, low leverage, figure it back out. Get traded at the deadline would make sense. Verlander's still kicking. He's going to be so cheap. Yep, Tiger so he can retire a Tiger. I love that idea. Nick Martinez. Any other interesting ones? Marcelo Ozuna, where does he think he's going to go? Braves or Rangers, 1 for 12. Fine. Bad person, good baseball player. Jose Quintana. Brewers, 1 year, $5 million. Was this Drew Pomeranz. Drew Pomeranz. I forgot he's playing this year. 1 for 5. Jack Flaherty. Wow, you have him that low? Is he even a free agent? I thought he had the player option. Regardless, 2 for $22 million. I'll tell you what, every team in baseball would give him 2 for $22 million. There's got to be a good pitcher in there somewhere. Has to be. Woodruff is available, but again, more injuries is scary. 2 for $22. Kyle Finnegan, 1 for $6. Adrian Hauser gives a Miguel Andujar was actually pretty good for the Reds. Big reason why they made the postseason. Good guy to have on your bench. Mike Yastrzemski played really well with the Royals at one point. Sure, 1 for 6. Paul Goldschmidt, 1 for 10 with the Diamondbacks again. I'm cool with it. And then last but not least, Cedric Mullins, 1 year, $8 million. He stunk. That one hurt me. My predictions are going to come out on my channel as soon as the World Series ends, so I think that next day those will be ready for you. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on it. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, as well as let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these predictions. Where do you think these guys are going to sign? Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. That's where I'll wrap it up. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, as well as this, I believe is a link to my second channel, The Windup, for more baseball content with my friend James. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you all next time.